This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, we now bring you a discussion on Prime Minister's MANN Ki Baat. The participants are Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Ashwini Srivastav, journalist.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi commenced his MANN Ki Baat program today, mentioning India's success. He mentioned as to how India has been successful in bringing home its invaluable heritage from Italy. This heritage includes over 1,000 years idol of Avalokiteshvara Padampani, which was stolen a few years ago from Gayaji. Similarly, he also mentioned one more idol of Lord Hanumanji, which was stolen from Vellore in Tamil Nadu. Not only this, he also talked about one of the main things, that is, people should speak their languages with pride, saying that India is incomparable in its richness of language. And he also asked the youngsters to make their videos with famous Indian songs in different languages, which will not only make them popular, but also showcase the country's diversity to the new generation. Ashokji, how do you see these 2 points, the importance of bringing back stolen idols from abroad and the emphasis on Indian languages?
Before I come to the point you have raised, I would like to share with our listeners that today was the 86th edition of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's monthly MANN Ki Baat program. And incidentally, this particular episode has fallen amidst the elections in 5 states, and especially now where the elections in other states have been completed. Polling in Uttar Pradesh was also going on today for the 5th round, and also it has come in the midst of Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Now, these 2 significant developments, and then Prime Minister's MANN Ki Baat coming in between. And I must share with our listeners that Prime Minister in all the episodes of MANN Ki Baat has never talked about politics, political issues, or any contentious issue. This time also has not mentioned anything about the political situation or the ongoing elections in UP, because he has always taken care that he should not be accused of using this platform for political purposes. And that is why MANN Ki Baat is so popular with the people of India, because they know it is the Prime Minister's interaction with the people of India, not only of any particular section or cross-section of the society, youth, tribal, all segments of the society. And that is why his dialogue or his interaction with the people of India through the MANN Ki Baat covers all issues. Like today, as you very rightly said, that he raised certain very significant issues. I would like to highlight his emphasis, which has always been there, that is, buy local products. And especially this time, he has appealed to the people that during the coming festivals like the Shivaratri and particularly in Holi, he urged everyone to abide by vocal for local and celebrate festivals by purchasing from the local markets and celebrate these festivals with fervor. But don't forget to stay cautious too because of the ongoing coronavirus. So these are, very certain significant traits of the Prime Minister's MANN Ki Baat, where he has always consistently emphasized about the fight against corona, also cleanliness and things like that. And today again, he brought in our success in producing vaccines when he paid tribute to C.V. Raman, the great legendary Indian scientist, and then he lauded the role of all Indian scientists in fight against corona, and he praised them. And he said he acknowledged due to their hard work, it became possible to manufacture the Made in India vaccine. So that was very significant. Then I fully agree with you that he emphasized on the language, the Indian languages, right, all regional languages. And he said language is not just a medium of communication, but it is also for preserving our heritage and culture. And in that context, he brought in that after 2014, India has brought back over 200 valuable statues and old idols of cultural importance from various countries such as US, UK, Canada, etc., etc. I think that takes care of your points you have raised. And then he urged Indians, particularly the kids, and then he invoked his meeting with the former Prime Minister of Kenya and described it as a very interesting and emotional.
So, sir, during this program, he also laid a special emphasis on use of mother tongue. You know that Modi also shared the story of former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga's daughter Rosemary, whose vision was restored to a great extent with Ayurvedic treatment. So that he talked for a brief period on Ayurveda also. He mentioned as to how Prince Charles from Britain is also one of the big admirers of Ayurveda. And then he went on to mention formation of Ayush Ministry, which is a very significant step by his government to promote Ayush. So what is Prime Minister is trying to convey when he talks about Ayurveda and its usage?
See, again, he has been emphasizing these particular aspects of Indian tradition, Indian culture, Indian medicine, practically in every episode. And this time, he particularly mentioned it in the context of the treatment which Ayurveda was successfully, did in respect of the girl which he mentioned. And in that context, he referred to Prince Charles that whenever and wherever they meet, Prince Charles never forgets to praise the Indian Ayurveda and all these things. So then he paid tribute to so many people, and this came in the context of Marathi, Kaviraj, Vishnu,
Yes.
Vaman, and like that. He went on praising so many people because invariably between his two episodes of Mann Ki Baat, whosoever the sons and daughters of India who have made India proud in every respect, though he never forgets to pay tribute to them. And in that context, he mentioned that particularly, as I said, he never forgets to mention Clean India Mission. And then he was talking about the Kokrajhar in Assam, the senior citizens taking up the cleanliness drive on the flyover. And
right.
Clean
Yeah.
India campaign in Visakhapatnam, cloth bags being promoted instead of polythene. People there are, campaigning against single-use plastic products. So why I'm mentioning all these things is that when the Prime Minister launched Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and campaign against, he has never given up. It's not just like a slogan which the normally leaders invoke and then they forget about it. So invariably goes back to that, and then he always mentions the people who are engaged in this particular campaign and the way people have decorated the walls of Kalyan railway station with beautiful painting, inspiring example from the Savai Madhopur in Rajasthan, and youth have also started campaigning Mission Beat Plastic in Ranthambore, and that is exactly Prime Minister says is the spirit of Sabka Prayas, because his mantra is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas and Sabka Vishwas. Now this Prayas aspect he has emphasized particularly this time in respect of the cleanliness drive.
Clean India mission is very close to his heart indeed. Sir, the Prime Minister also talked about International Women's Day, which will be celebrated on March 8th. And he said that Indian women are dispelling many old myths and they are reaching newer heights with Parliament to Panchayat. He also said that in Army too, they are undertaking new responsibilities and bigger roles. So what is that message that he is trying to give to the society? And he also mentioned about triple talaq legislation. So do you feel that it has got to do something with the ongoing election, or it is completely women empowerment message that he wished to give to the people at large?
Absolutely nothing to do with politics. The fact remains that the Prime Minister said that on the 8th of March, we will be celebrating International Women's Day, and that will be celebrated all over the world. And India particularly has been sharing many examples related to the courage, skill and talent of women. And this he has been doing repeatedly, as I said, practically in every episode of Mann Ki Baat. Today, whether it is Skill India, self-help group, small or big industries, and then particularly the women in different groups, in different fields, from parliament to panchayat, women are reaching newer heights. And in that context, he talked about in the army too. He said our daughters are now playing responsibilities in new and bigger roles, and they are protecting the country. He recalled that last month on the Republic Day, the whole country saw the daughters were flying modern fighter planes too. The country also lifted the restrictions on the admission of daughters in Sainik school, and daughters are now taking admissions in Sainik school. It was in that context he brought in triple talaq aspect. It has nothing to do with the politics or election. And in that context, you mentioned about the startups also.
Yes.
Startups for women in director role. Decisions like increasing maternity leave for women have been taken. The country is trying to give equal rights to sons and daughters by fixing a common age for marriage. And it was due to this, the participation of women is increasing in every field. And he reminded the countrymen that they must have noticed another major change happening in the country. And this change is the success of India's social campaign. And take the success of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Today, the sex ratio in the country has improved. The number of girls going to school has improved. And in this, we also have a responsibility that our daughters do not drop out of school. Similarly, women in the country have got freedom from open defecation. Under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, a social evil like triple talaq is also coming to an end. Ever since the law against triple talaq has come into force, there has been a reduction of 80% in triple talaq cases in the country. It is a huge achievement. And how all these changes happening in such a short span of time? This change is coming because women themselves are now leading the change and progressive efforts in our country.
The legislation to increase the age of marriage for women is indeed a very bold and a very significant step, sir, as you rightly pointed out. Sir, the Prime Minister also talked about National Science Day, which will be celebrated tomorrow, that is February 28th. And, while mentioning this, he urged parents to work to develop a scientific temperament in their children. He told them that they should talk about science in everyday things with their kids. I mean, while they are seeing ordinary glasses or while they are on their mobile phone, or they should talk about stars in night. So what is the message that the Prime Minister trying to give? Catch them young seems to be mantra of the Prime Minister in developing scientific temper among youngsters.
You are absolutely right, because 28th February is National Science Day, and this day is also known for the discovery of a Raman effect, and that is exactly why I said in the beginning that he paid tribute to C.V. Raman, and particularly all other scientists who have contributed significantly in enriching our scientific journey. Technology has secured an important place in our lives in the realm of ease and simplicity. Technology is good, and what is the better use of that technology? We all well acquainted with these subjects, but it is equally true that the basis of that technology, the underlying science, is something that we neglected in conveying to our children in early years. That is exactly what we are saying. Therefore, on this Science Day, he urged all the families to definitely start with small effort to develop a scientific temperament in our children. That was the message.
Sir, in your opening remark, you mentioned vocal for local appeal made by the Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat address. Now, he has been talking very openly and repeatedly about being vocal for local. We all know that Corona pandemic has played havoc on many countries' economy, and we were also very badly hit. We feel that this appeal which is being made repeatedly by the Prime Minister to buy local products, to buy indigenous products, has the potential to revitalize the ailing economy in our country.
It certainly has. From the day Prime Minister started emphasizing on vocal for local, it has a resolutely impact on the society, and that is quite visible also. And therefore, the status which we have achieved now in the startups, that is an indication. Startups by all segments of society, youth, women, that is a step in that direction. Startups are basically innovation, research and R&D. And that is how you can really make this program of Vocal for Local success. It should not merely remain a slogan. But once we start producing things with our innovation, technology and research, obviously the dependence on foreign goods will reduce. And that is exactly is the mantra of Vocal for Local. But especially he mentioned about the festival like Holi. Yes. So he was indirectly referring, without saying so, that all the material which is used during Holi, like colors, etc., we should buy from the local markets.
Indeed, the Prime Minister touched so many important aspects in his today's program. It was great talking to you, sir, and hope that people would follow the message given by the Prime Minister in today's program.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to a discussion on Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Ashwini Srivastav, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to this program on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official.